The number 9 curse at Chelsea. Chelsea can buy world-class strikers. What they can't buy is goals in their number 9 shirt. It doesn't matter who they sign, whether it's Fernando Torres, Radamel Falcao, Álvaro Morata, or Romelu Lukaku. Once they pull on that shirt, the goals dry up. Players who once terrified defenders suddenly look like they've forgotten how to play. The background? The last great number 9 at Chelsea was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink back in the early 2000s. He smashed in goals for fun. A true predator. Since then, it's been a graveyard. Torres arrived for £50 million and spent half his career staring at the grass. Morata admitted the pressure of the shirt broke his confidence. Lukaku gave interviews saying he was unhappy before even finishing a season. Even youngsters avoid it. Tammy Abraham wore 9, scored goals, but was quickly shipped off to Roma. Aubameyang tried it, netted a measly 3 times, and then vanished from lineups entirely. The shirt eats strikers alive. The punchline? Chelsea spent over $1 billion on players in recent years, but they still can't fix the only curse money can't buy their way out of. The Benfica curse, Gutman's warning. In 1962, Benfica coach Bela Gutman made history by winning back-to-back European Cups. He asked for a raise. The club said no. Furious, he stormed out and left a parting shot. Not in 100 years will Benfica win another European Cup. Since then, Benfica have reached 8 European finals. They lost every single one. From Eusebio's heartbreak in the 1960s to Europa League collapses against Sevilla and Chelsea, the curse has haunted generations. Fans are so desperate that before the 1990 European Cup final, Eusebio himself visited Gutman's grave in Vienna to beg him to lift the curse. Spoiler: it didn't work. Even modern squads haven't escaped. In 2013 and 2014, they lost back-to-back Europa League finals in the cruelest fashion. Supporters don't even call it bad luck anymore. They just mutter Gutman and shake their heads. The punchline? They still have 39 years to wait. And unless ghosts take PayPal, no amount of money will break it. The England penalty curse. For decades, England's kryptonite wasn't Brazil, Germany, or Argentina. It was 12 yards from goal. From Italia 90 to Euro 2020, England consistently collapsed in penalty shootouts. Lineker, Southgate, Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, legends who froze when it mattered most. The curse began in 1990 when they lost their World Cup semi-final to Germany on penalties, and it haunted every tournament after. The ghost briefly disappeared in 2018 when they finally won a shootout against Colombia. England fans thought the hoodoo was gone, but curses don't die that easily. At Euro 2020, England reached the final at Wembley, their biggest moment in half a century, only to lose on penalties to Italy, at home, in front of their own fans. Punchline? Football didn't come home. Penalty pain did, and probably always will. The Real Madrid number 16 curse. At Real Madrid, the number 7 is sacred. Raul, Cristiano Ronaldo, icons who defined eras. But the number 16? Pure doom. Every player who wore it seemed to vanish into thin air. Royston Drenthe arrived from Feyenoord, lit up the U21 Euros, then vanished. Lucas Silva was touted as Brazil's next midfield star. Madrid gave him 16 and injuries destroyed him. Even Borja Mayoral had his confidence wrecked. Fans started to believe the shirt wasn't just unlucky, it was cursed. They joked that 16 wasn't a squad number at all, but a warning label. Abandon hope, all ye who wear this. Some curses are rooted in history, others are just bizarre fashion choices that become tradition. At Madrid, number 16 is radioactive. The Aaron Ramsey death curse. This one sounds insane, but the coincidences are chilling. For years, whenever Aaron Ramsey scored, a famous celebrity died shortly after. Bin Laden, Steve Jobs, Whitney Houston, David Bowie, the list of eerie victims piled up. Fans started tracking Ramsey's goals like omens. Of course, it's pure coincidence. But football thrives on superstition, and soon every Ramsey goal carried a strange energy. Arsenal fans would cheer, while neutrals joked nervously about who was next. It got to the point where headlines after his goals weren't about the match, but about the so-called curse. Punchline? Arsenal wanted him to score. The rest of the world wasn't so sure. The Parkhead Curse, Celtic's European struggles. Celtic Park, or Parkhead, is one of football's most famous fortresses. At home in Scotland, they dominate, but step into Europe, cursed. Since winning the European Cup in 1967 as the Lisbon Lions, Celtic have never repeated the feat. They've had great teams, passionate fans, and atmospheres so loud they shake the ground. But in the Champions League, every campaign ends in early exits or heartbreak. Punchline, the Lisbon Lions became the Lisbon Ghosts. The Mexico World Cup curse. Mexico has hosted the World Cup twice, in 1970 and 1986. Both tournaments gave us immortal champions, Pele's Brazil and Maradona's Argentina. But here's Mexico's own curse. They can never get past the round of 16. 6 straight tournaments, same story. It became so infamous it has a name, El Quinto Partido, the curse of never reaching the 5th game. Legends like Hugo Sanchez, Rafa Marquez, and Chicharito all tried. None broke through, coaches changed, squads changed, but the round of 16 became a brick wall. Punchline, Mexico are football's eternal 4th round tourists. The Racing Club exorcism. In Argentina, Racing Club went 35 years without winning a trophy. Fans swore it was a curse placed on them in 1967 when they won the Intercontinental Cup. After that, nothing. The drought was so bad that in the 1990s, Racing literally hired a priest to exorcise their stadium. Bizarre rituals followed, burning herbs, sprinkling holy water, chanting prayers in the dressing room. At one point, they even buried charms under the penalty spot. And sure enough, in 2001, Racing finally lifted the league title, ending decades of misery. Punchline, forget tactics. Sometimes you just need an exorcist on the payroll. The World Cup holders curse. Since 2002, every World Cup winner has collapsed in the next tournament. France won in '98, group stage exit in 2002. Italy won in 2006, group stage exit in 2010. Spain won in 2010, group stage exit in 2014. Germany won in 2014, group stage exit in 2018. It's like the trophy carries a virus that infects dynasties. The same players who lifted it as heroes come back 4 years later as zombies, out in the first round. Fans of new champions actually start to worry. Is our turn next? Punchline, win the World Cup and start packing for an early flight home 4 years later. The San Siro curse of injuries. AC Milan and Inter share the San Siro. They also share something darker, a history of devastating injuries. The pitch has been blamed for years. Ronaldo Nazario tore his knee there in one of the most horrifying injuries ever seen. Countless Milan stars broke down season after season, from Alessandro Nesta to Kaká. Even visiting players complained that the turf was harder, heavier, and more dangerous than anywhere else. Doctors suggested it was the mix of grass and sand. Groundskeepers denied it, but the injury lists kept piling up. It's a beautiful stadium, a cathedral of football, but a place where careers go to die. Punchline, gorgeous arena, cursed pitch. The St. Totteringham's Day collapse. For decades, Arsenal fans had their own holiday, St. Totteringham's Day. It was the day Tottenham could no longer mathematically finish above them in the league. Gunners fans marked it like Christmas. But since 2016, the curse reversed. Spurs finally broke free, Arsenal's dominance ended, and suddenly the holiday disappeared from the calendar. Tottenham fans laughed, Arsenal fans mourned. It was proof that even traditions can collapse overnight. Arsenal thought St. Totteringham's Day was forever. Instead, it's become a memory, and maybe another curse to break. Punchline, Arsenal's curse wasn't magic or ghosts. It was Spurs finally being competent.